Welcome back to the Run the Back Podcast, the podcast where you come for the entertainment, stay for the sports. This is a podcast for the culture, and I'm one of your hosts, Percy.
I'm BOBBYBANDZZZ.
And in the room today, we got Bruce on the couch. We got Reef behind the camera. We got DJ Enigma on a mic.
You know what I'm saying?
Who gave this man a mic? Who gave you a mic, bro?
DJ, I don't really get on. Well,
yeah.
No, you get on the mic.
Sometimes niggas got stuff to say.
And at the table, this man has been known to lock up your favorite player. We got Lucas joining the table.
What's up?
Start us off, Bobby.
I appreciate you coming out, man. I know ain't no much basketball going on right now, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk some basketball. Just give a little background information about yourself, if you want.
Well, all right. So I'm from Chicago. I went to Whitney Young High School. Won 2 state championships at Whitney Young. Played
2?
With, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I
Slight
won
flex.
my freshman year. I played with Jalil Okafor, Paul White, Miles Reynolds, and them.
Nice.
And then I won my senior year in 2017. And then
Who'd you guys beat?
beat Simeon, actually. Yeah, we beat Evan Gilliard and Taylor and them. And then came to Loyola, made it to the Final Four my freshman year, and hopefully we're gonna make it back this year. So,
is there? They're saying it's gonna be a season right now.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's tough with everything going on.
Yeah, I haven't heard. But our thing is we just preparing like there is a season. So, if they up and say, "Hey, we about to play in 2 weeks," we'll be ready. You know,
They're gonna put y'all in the bubble.
Stay ready.
they're actually talking about that. Actually,
A bubble?
yeah, I actually got a notification today about when the NBA's done in Orlando, we might end up having a bubble or something like that.
Oh damn!
For conferences?
For
or
all
how would that
conferences,
be?
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it might be Power 5.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see. I
Yeah.
mean, there are other venues that we could possibly do. Like our conference tournament is in St. Louis, so they could do a bubble in St. Louis, but we'll see.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you could bubble with all the venues that at the first round.
Yeah.
So that would be 32 venues. Not 32 venues. That would be 16 venues, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And
No, 8 maybe.
yeah, I mean, and then if you have you just do a bubble here, a bubble here, a bubble here, and as you go through the tournament,
It's true.
So
It's tough how they're making all these changes because of COVID right now.
You got to.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
you have to just to ensure the safety. So how does that work with all the players? Is everyone taking online classes? Is the whole school taking online classes?
yeah, so for Loyola, the whole school's taking online classes.
Everybody?
They shut down all the dorms, and basically the only people on campus right now are athletes.
Working out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, most universities across the country have shut down and gone strictly online. So, but yeah, I mean, in terms of working out and stuff like that, I mean, I gotten tested 3 times already. Every other week we're getting tested.
Yeah. I got tested too.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we're trying to be as safe as possible and doing what we can, not going out to parties and stuff like that, So.
Well, we're safe here, so we got some hand sanitizer.
With the aloe. Aloe vera.
We'll be knocking everything down. So for basketball, I know you guys are about to start up. There's only athletes now. Are you commuting? Well, obviously, because you said the campuses, the dorms are closed. How is it for other students that are coming from other schools?
Well, for the most part, everybody is. Well, I know for my team, everybody lives in an apartment.
Oh, okay.
There's one dorm that's still open for freshmen because freshmen have to live on campus. But everybody else, they moved them into apartments.
So they're still enforcing the freshmen on campus?
Yeah. Freshmen have to stay on campus, and we got 2 freshmen on the team this year, but everybody else is in an apartment right on campus.
Oh, okay, nice.
So let's get into a little of your player profile.
Player profile. What you mean?
He trying to break your game down.
Right.
He like, man, what I'm trying to say is I could beat you, bro. 1-on-1, I could beat you.
I ain't say it.
No.
Like your position, your biggest like let's start with position.
I'm a guard, shooting guard.
Primarily shooting guard.
Yeah, primarily shooting guard, but I mean the game has kind of changed. There's really it's like 1 through 4.
Wing.
Yeah. So
and your what we say is the strength of your game. Like what's your biggest or your best physical attribute?
Physical attribute? Probably like, I don't know. Offensively, it's my shot. You know, I got so much confidence in my shot. I spent a lot of hours in the gym working on it.
Off the dribble, spot up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on off the dribble, but spot up has always been, come naturally to me. But then but my best attribute, I feel like, is just the energy that I bring to the game. Like, Pat Bev is one of my favorite players not because he's, one of the best players in the NBA or he's about to go off for 50, but it's like you can feel his presence on the court and he might only have like 2 points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just watched Marcus Smart and he only had 1 point the other game, but his coach came over to him and said he was a big reason why they won. So
because he plays
defense. He does all the
Nah, he
work,
said that was my man.
So you're not even gonna say that you were a defensive player and you was the first team.
He let me say it when I said in the beginning. And he locked up your favorite player.
First team.
But I did. That was on first team on defense last year.
Nice.
Okay.
So I know I seen online your freshman year you played 30 or your 30 something games you played in 30 something games was it? And then you played 16 games last year. Were you injured?
So my freshman year we did play like 30 something games, but we went deep into the tournament.
Also, okay.
And then my sophomore year I played probably up until December, and then that first week of December I broke my hand.
Okay.
And then it was a 6-week process. I waited it out, came back, played the first 2 games, started to finally feel like myself again. And then the third game, broke my hand again.
The same one?
Same one. So then I decided I could either wait another 6 weeks and possibly miss out on the rest of the season, or I could go through surgery, which would kind of speed up the recovery process and possibly play the last couple of games and then the conference tournament. So I decided to get surgery. So I still got the scar, and I got 3 screws on this side, 3 screws on this side, a metal plate holding the bone together.
What happened? A strip or?
I don't know. It's hard to explain. We were playing Nevada and we were trying to fly around. It's so stupid. 12 seconds left in the game type thing. We're just flying around trying to get deflections and steals, and I was trying to get this steal.
The energy was there. It was the energy. Yeah. Energy finds the ball.
Right.
That's it. Energy
but then
finds the ball.
he threw this pass, and then I tried to get a deflection, and then I missed the ball, but I hit his hand, and his hand kind of hit my finger at a weird angle, and then my whole hand went numb after that. I knew it was broken immediately.
Yep.
So
he knows about injury.
I broke my I counted all my stitches and not scars only, but just stitches. I got 21 sets of different stitches on my body.
Sets of different stitches?
Different sets. So it's I'm in the 200s. Bobby Rehab. I got probably over 200 sets of stitches on my body, but I got 21 different. So I tore this one too, but I broke this one on a rebound.
Yeah.
At 7 years old, and I never told my mom. I never got it fixed. That's why. So in high school, I had a hand contusion playing quarterback, and the doctor puts my hand in the X-ray. He's like, your pinky's broken, right? I'm like, yeah, I broke it when I was a kid. He's like, we have to re-break it. Right. I'm like, hell no, don't touch my thumb. I mean, my pinky, don't touch my pinky. I'll leave. I'm good. I broke everything damn near though. So this one was a deflection, same way on the pass. But I tore both my ACLs, tore my Achilles.
Dang.
Energy, bro. Is that
You might need to chill out, bro.
I'm coaching, bro. I'm coaching now. I'm coaching, bro. So, yeah, I don't hoop no more. That's why you're here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Hey, no, no injuries, no injuries. That shit's not fun, not fun.
Holy shit.
I've only had 2 sets of stitches, so I'm gonna hopefully keep it there.
So then, fast forward to your junior year, this past season. Was there a tournament this year? No, right? Because of March? Because of COVID?
So our conference tournament always plays a week early. So our tournament we played our conference tournament.
And you played like 30, I think you said 32 games this season as well,
yeah.
right?
So
And no. We didn't play 30-something games. No? We lost in the semis to Valpo in an overtime game.
Oh, 77-76.
I don't remember the score. But,
I believe that's the score.
But it might, yeah.
He did his homework.
Y'all had a lot of tough games though. All of your losses were like by 1 point, by 2 points. Like y'all really. That's what I noticed about y'all.
Yeah,
like y'all really play hard.
We really get everybody's best shot. Yeah. Ever since the Final Four, well, I don't know what it was before that, but like ever since then, like people wake up to play us.
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
So like there'll be guys that have career nights against us, and they'll be averaging 2 points a game. And all of a sudden they go off for 30, but like that goes to show like college basketball. Right.
Anybody's night.
Anybody can go off. Yeah. So, but yeah, we ended up losing the semis. But our conference played our entire conference tournament, and then they canceled the rest of rest of March due to COVID and stuff. So yeah.
Gosh, well, I'm sure you. Going to a big power school, high school like you went to, you used to getting everybody's best shot.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
We told you about our little 10-0 run.
We hooped against Anthony Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he gave us 46. Well, you know what? Let me rewind that. We held him down to 13 the first time we played him. He was 6'8". He wasn't like 6'10" yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he really, I don't think he honestly found himself as a player yet. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was in between a guard and a center.
He just grew that night. Like,
yeah, bro. Like it was
he
like
went from 6'2" to 6'8" that night.
He looked like a 6'8", like Snoop Dogg. That skinny, like dude was just skinny without, like it was just like that.
I see pictures, yeah.
And then the second time we played him, man, it was a whole different person, bro. Like 46 points, 26 rebounds, 13 blocks.
Like 2 months later, he had been 6'8" for a while.
Bro, get like that.
Yikes!
Yeah, it was one of those.
They got the highlights, man.
Have you ever? What's the highest you allowed? You would think. Do you know? Man, like
a single matchup.
Yeah, like single matchup. Like you doing so before games. I'm obviously you guys scout. Right?
Oh well.
One player who gave
so my freshman year of high school, I didn't play a lot on varsity, but my freshman year of high school, we played Jalen Brunson in the Final Four of the.
Just looking at his stats a couple months
bro,
ago.
We played Jalen Brunson in the Final Four of the state tournament, and he had like 56. Bro, no, and this is it. Yes, no, this is in high school. Like running clock, like you know, there's only 8-minute quarters. Like, bro. So like, oh my God, I remember we were in a timeout, and Coach Slaughter, he looks up at the scoreboard and he's like, I forgot his number, but like he was like, who is number 12 and why does he have? Or no, he was like, who is number 56 and why does he have 12 points? One of the assistants was like, nah, that's number 12 and he has 56 points. It was like, oh my God, I've never, bro.
That's wild.
I don't even know how we beat them, to be honest with you. I mean, man, that man had 56 points.
Yeah. And you guys beat,
we beat them.
56 in the losing effort.
Yeah.
So are you guys, was Whitney Young still sponsored by Jordan? Are they still doing the Jordan?
No.
Now that his kids are gone?
Yeah, when I was there, it was Nike. It still is just Nike right now.
So. I know Jordan used to be in the stands. And when you were in coming up in grade school, did you ever play at Whitney Young before?
Oh yeah, I was at Whitney Young all the time. I played in a junior NBA ever since I was like a baby, which was at Whitney Young. And then I played at I went to a sports camp called High Five Sports Camp, which was at the in like the baseball park just across the street, and we used a lot of Whitney Young facilities. So ever since the second grade, I had always wanted to go to Whitney Young. And then as I got older, I was like, hey, Whitney Young is actually nice at basketball. So that made me want to go there even more.
So did they recruit you, or you went straight there and like made your?
Well, there's no recruiting in high school.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. Well, you know,
but, yeah, but like no, I did want to go there. I went to a lot of games, just as a fan, and then I talked to the coach a little bit, and then tested in, and then it was from there. Yeah.
Everybody wanted to go to Whitney Young. I swear, right? Everybody wanted to go to Whitney Young. That park that you just mentioned across the street, we were supposed to play Whitney Young in baseball in high school one time. And one of our like teammates, like I guess Whitney Young didn't show up.
They double booked.
They looked at the schedule. They said there's probably no way in hell we playing you know what I'm saying? Rainer, because nobody can ever say Rounder. They looked at that schedule, didn't show up, and they went somewhere else. Like they probably booked a game and forgot to
tell us that they won.
Yeah. So we're in the yard and we're like playing piggy and stuff. And one of our like outfielders, one of the main guys, Justin breaks his leg.
Oh.
What happened?
He broke his leg.
I'm like, what happened? Yeah, he goes, bro, and trying to catch a ball, breaks his leg. And it was like right before our playoffs or something like that, right?
Yeah. That was like that was the tune-up game before we saw, not tune-up, but
yeah, we
basically the tune-up game before we saw.
But we were in that conference. Yeah. I think we were in that conference because we played Sen, we played Walter Payton, we played Whitney Young. Yeah.
So maybe it might not have been Vaughn playoff.
Yeah, that's why we played you guys. Our athletic director was a 6'8" big dude, like played Division I think 2 or 3 basketball, and he was just like, I'm gonna get you guys in a good conference. He didn't know what we had. We had a couple of big guys on the team, and they threw us in like the Red West. It was Farragut. It was
Marshall.
Farragut.
Whitney Young.
We played
North Lawndale.
We played Lincoln Park was in it at that time. Simeon, it was like all those. Clemente was in it at one point, like for some reason. And we 5-5 that year. We played in 10 games. We played everybody once, and 5-5, bro.
Okay. Respectable.
You know what I'm saying? We broke even. We have a losing record in the Red West. I don't know. They knew not to put us back.
Well, we had like 150 students in the school at that time.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So he brought up our D2 athletic director. Now, as a D1 athlete, specifically basketball player, what like the skill gap did you notice jumping from high school, city ball, then going freshman year, going deep into the tournament? So you saw some elite players. So how would you describe that skill gap?
Well, I just say that the speed of the game is a lot different.
Yeah.
And even that says a lot coming from like, you know, we're all from Chicago. Like we play fast. That's all we know how to play. But like it's a different type of speed. It's like, you know, fast, slow, fast. Like the change of pace is something that you got to get used to. And then you want to talk about the skill. So like everybody can hoop. So you got to realize that, you know, to play Division I basketball is such a blessing, and because like you're playing against the 1%. There's 1% of all high school baskall players play at the Division I level.
Right.
So you're playing against everybody who was the best player of their high school team. Yeah. Every single one of my teammates was the guy on their high school team.
Facts.
So even the guys that don't see the court,
they're still nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like
still nice.
So guys can hoop. Like I don't think people understand. Like people watch TV all the time and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll go out there and get." No, you won't.
Hell no.
I promise you.
Even if the females can hoop, bro,
but,
the women can
yes.
hoop. We were in the rack hooping with Illini's girls, but we didn't even get to hoop with them. Actually, we were on the sideline and we're next, and I'm like, they literally came off. No,
3 of them.
3 of them. They giving buckets nonstop to everybody. And I'm like, damn, we're next up. And I'm like, Percy's like, man, you got to guard that. I'm like, damn. I know they nice. You know what I'm saying? But I was nice too. I knew like in my head, I can easily score on her, but she's gonna score on me. You know what I'm saying? Like she's gonna give me some buckets.
It's not like she was faster or stronger.
Exactly. I knew I knew my advantage, but they were hooping, running the whole gym,
bro. And it's like the disrespect that women get, especially like the WNBA.
Yeah.
And I hate when people like and I don't never say hate because this is a strong word, but I hate when people say, "Oh yeah, I'll go out to the NBA or the WNBA and average 50."
Nah, hell
bro,
no.
It's still basketball.
No. If you watch a WNBA game,
they don't
know basketball. It's high level basketball. Yes. It's a reason. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, you're not touching them. And so people don't realize it's literally the 1% of that's the world, because they come from, those are the best from all over the world. The NBA and the WNBA are the best players in the world. Yeah,
and even in college, like it's changed. Like I had a teammate that's from Croatia. So like you can recruit in college. So it's like they do go overseas and they bring people over here, and you know what I'm saying. So like
I coached at Concordia University. We had some kid. He was 6'8", center. I think he came from Cambodia. Mm-hmm. He ended up getting kicked off the team. I'm not gonna say why, but he ended up getting kicked off the team. But
that's neither here nor there.
But same thing. They're from all over. Yeah. When I got to the college level, because we coach high school level now, but when I got to the college level, you realize kids, like I'm meeting these kids. I'm like, where are you from? He's like Phoenix, Arizona, Florida, New Jersey. Like, and you know, these coaches are going all over the country meeting these kids.
It's their job.
And that's what they get paid to do.
Literally. Like people lose their jobs because they don't find talent.
And with the situation here at where I was at, like the coach was like a suburb coach, so he didn't know any inner city high schools. I'm sending them to like games, like yo, we could go to this game, we could go scout here. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids are balling. All he knew was like he got from everywhere else. Like there was no Chicago Hoopers on that team.
Yeah, and that's a shame because there are so many.
That was a couple years ago. Now I don't know, but
there's so many hoopers in the city that just don't get an opportunity to play college basketball because there's so many people that I played with that I know for a fact they could play. Like first of all, Division II and Division III basketball is still elite. You're still in the 5%. That's still a high level basketball. JUCO is still a high level basketball, but they just don't get that opportunity for whatever reason, whatever stigma that they have in the city, and it's a shame. So hopefully that changes.
I have a question. Like, since you're talking about like the skill level and stuff like that, obviously, like since now it's off season, like I want to know like how much of the work you have to put in. I guess this could go with also like what would you tell like future people who want to be D1 athletes? Like how's your workout? Like what do you eat? What do you do? Like like everything like to stay part of this 1%.
Well, it's a grind year round because as soon as the season ends, you're in the off season.
Yeah,
and
the season never ends.
Right, and then it's like, what are you working on? Like, what? So to help, you know, the next generation, it's like everybody has something that they need to work on. So once the season ends, are you going up to your coach? Are you asking him, hey, if you want a bigger role next season, it's like, hey, coach, I want a bigger role next season. What do I need to work on? Whether it's ball handling, whether it's shooting, whether it's rebound, whatever it might be, you go in the off season and you change that, and that's like an everyday thing.
What do you do personally?
Personally, it's like
strict diet, or you eat kind of anything?
Well, now, yeah. I just started like tracking my calories and stuff like that because I'm learning a little bit more about the right foods and put it in your body, and you'll have a lot more energy that way. And right now they got a more structure because I can work out with the team. So it's like every day we'll wake up. I lift at 10. I have lifting at 10 every day. And then right after lifting, I go to shooting, skill work. I'm there for another hour. And then I go home, get something to eat. And then I come back, and then it's like I got a team workout or open gym. and I'll be there for like another hour. And then right now it's different because the gyms aren't open because of COVID. Right. But normally I'd be in there like 8 on my own or late at night on my own, trying to just get 1% better.
Also, they're not giving you like full access of the gyms right now?
No. But like even in high school, like I was always staying at least an hour after practice. Yeah. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to get a workout in at 6, so I could be at class in the morning at 8. Because I mean, like I said, to be a Division I athlete is not easy. And then everybody on my team also did that. Yeah. You know, and this is loyal. Like, first of all, we're a good team. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, but like, you know, when you think of college basketball, you think of Duke, you think of Kentucky, you think of Kansas. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you want to be at that level, like you got to
do everything to get there. You got to do everything to get there.
Was that 22 and a half?
Yeah, 26. It takes a lot of like obedience and like self-discipline. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like to really want to do it.
And then I'll say this too, because I've seen this happen to a lot of players too, especially in high school, because they end up taking themselves away from their own opportunity. Mm-hmm. Like, are you hanging around the right crowd? You know, like you might not even be the one that gets in trouble, that's getting into fights in school or whatever. But if you're hanging around that crowd, you're bound to get into some nonsense. And then as soon as you get, you know, something attached to your name, right? Now, don't think that the coaches don't know that. Yeah, that college recruiters don't know that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I say like try to be somebody that's accountable for their own actions. You know what I'm saying? Right. Somebody that a college coach would want and doesn't have to worry about what their off the court actions are going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's the worst, because as a coach, like from you're still an athlete, as a coach to have to worry about that, or just like having either, you know, in the high school level teachers like, hey, this kid, and you know the potential. Like we've had athletes, bro, like that can hoop. Like, you know, and now what you call them, park legends, because like they really never really were self-disciplined enough.
Best on the block.
Yeah, like literally, literally best on the block.
Yeah, my mom used to tell me all the time growing up that the best basketball players aren't in the NBA. Right, they're out here still hoop, like on the street, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really understand it until I got, you know, where I am now, where a lot of people, they're not in college, they're not playing college basketball right now, and they could be, like, and they really could be, and it's just a shame. So,
it's tough, man. Like these kids, I know there's a lot of distractions, you know, and all that goes with being a kid, you know, because when you're a kid, life comes at you just as fast, you know what I'm saying? Like it comes at you really fast, but just try to stay focused and really, you know, maintain, because everybody dreams of making it to the NBA. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's everyone's dream. Everybody wants to be that player, and everybody, as you know, as a kid growing up. So if you really want that, you just gotta push for that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like nonstop.
I think like Kobe had a quote like, if your habits don't match your dreams, change your habits. So like if your dream is to play in the NBA, but you're not working like an NBA player, like you're not, you know, making smart decisions like an NBA player, then you need to change your habits, because otherwise, you know, that dream is not gonna stay there.
It's gonna stay a dream.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna stay a dream.
And that's just like
anything. And that's life.
Anything.
Life is,
and you know, now like, you know, there's so many things that you can learn from basketball and apply it to life. You know, so
what's your major, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm a journalism major, with a Spanish minor and a management minor.
Oh, so you speak Spanish?
A little bit.
More than me, I guarantee. I took Spanish twice, and I think that was one of the classes I failed with Spanish.
Wow. Yeah, I took 4 years of Spanish in college. I can read it.
I can read it. I can definitely read it. So what do you want to pursue? I mean, obviously your goal is to play professional, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So, what else besides basketball? Do you have any other plans that you want to do as well?
I mean, that's the $1 million question. I mean, I'm interested in a couple of things. I like telling stories. That's kind of why I chose journalism as my major. You know, I like, you know, hearing about people, hearing from where they came from, adversities that they had to deal with, and telling, you know, inspiring other people. And then, so there's that. I also kind of like politics because I like to I don't know, I'm not one of those people that wants to make it to the NBA so I can live this lavish lifestyle. I'm one of those that I would rather give back to
make a change.
That's why I'm so prideful of, you know, why I'm from Chicago and stuff like that. But so I'm interested in politics because then you can make real change. And then, you know, I also like business because the business world is a lot like basketball in terms of it being competitive.
Yeah.
And, stuff like that. So I'm still trying to figure that part out. Because I'm just focused on, you know, playing basketball for as long as I can. So we'll see.
There's so many job postings that I see online that says we want sports-minded people. So if you were an athlete, it's a major plus right now to be,
because they understand the passion that a lot of athletes give. You give somebody an assignment and be like, hey, you got to finish this, and it's your first job, you're gonna finish it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be determined. You're gonna make sure that job gets done. Yep.
And that's what I say. What I mean when I say there's a lot of things that you can learn from basketball and apply it to real life. So it's what are some skills that you learn from basketball? You learn about how to work within a team, and that's huge, especially now because a lot of things are shifting from individual work to teamwork.
Right. Yeah.
And then you know, work ethic is huge. You know, there's a whole bunch of skills that you learn from just playing sports in general.
Yeah,
you know.
So I want to rewind back a couple seconds to get back into the youngins, right? So you mentioned I want you to get into what can kids expect in the recruitment process, because that's one reason why I got into coaching, because I feel like I had a really good chance to be a Division I athlete myself. Had no idea what I was doing, and it didn't pan out. So if you can go from that first, they say junior year is their most important year. So if you can go from that first time where you realize I can actually play at the next level to day one stepping on campus.
My recruiting process.
Yeah, your personal process.
Well, my process is actually kind of interesting. So I was never I wasn't the top player in the state.
A 5-star.
Never was 5-star. I don't even know how many. I never.
Yeah, but that's what they just claim it as 5-star recruit.
Yeah,
right?
that would be my first advice. Don't look at rankings because it's the stupidest thing. Because now I'm a senior in college. Who cares about rank? I don't care. Who's the number one player in the state? I don't know.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Who cares? Where is he? I don't know. You know. So, anyways, my junior year, I knew that, you know, I wanted to have a big year my junior year because I knew that it was one of the more important years. And then I played on Mean Streets, which is Nike's EYBL team. So, I knew I was going to get seen, but I just wasn't getting, any attention. When, I played on Mean Street, I'll say it was the best AAU team in Illinois because you know we don't rock with the Fire. But
rep your set.
But that year we ended up doing better than the Fire. We ended up I played with Brian Bowen, who's on the Pacers right now. I played with Isaiah Livers, who was Mr. Basketball of Michigan. Nice. He goes to Michigan right now. I play with Evan Gilliard, who's the top point guard in the city. And then, so I play with all these high major recruits. Tom Izzo was at all our games. Coach K was at some of our games. Like, you know, you name it, he was there. Cause, you know, so, and I started on that team. And I damn near played the whole game. And I still wasn't getting any attention. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, I go to Whitney Young, probably one of the better programs in the city. And then I play on one of the best,
I would say.
one of the best AAU programs when I still wasn't getting recruited. So it really like tested like
your mental.
my mental, and it's like, damn, do I really want to like I said, I was waking up at 5 a.m. like to go lift. And I'm like, dang, do I really want to like, some days I wake up at 5 and be like, yo, what am I doing this? You know, like it doesn't make any sense. Like, is this really in my future? But it's just like, I just had a vision, a dream, and I wasn't ready to give up on it yet. So I ended up not committing. There's like a first signing period. Right? Yeah. And I ended up not committing past that. I played my entire senior year not knowing where I was going to go. Okay. Which can kind of mess with you, because they always say to commit before your senior year so you can enjoy. Yeah, just who. Yeah. You know, and yeah. Bro, so DJ,
Jeremy Richmond said he committed his 8th grade summer to U of I. Dead ass. Like he went to, before he even stepped in high school, he got recruited.
Yeah. Because the recruitment process is a blessing. It's a blessing and a curse. Because it's a blessing because you're realizing that, okay, like, you know, I might be able to play at the next level. Yeah. But then it's a curse because it's one of the most stressful experiences that you could possibly go through. Like, I think like me and Nate was watching some show about we were actually watching Last Chance U, and like how they were trying to get recruited and stuff like that, and I'm like, there's no way in hell that I would ever go back to being the recruitment process, because it's just that stressful. So I played my whole senior year not knowing where I was gonna go, and then like I said, like I was one of the best players on my team at that point. I was the leading scorer on our team, and still not getting much.
What was it much? Like, was it just schools that you didn't want to go to, or what?
There was 2 schools that were like really recruiting me like heavy, and one was 2.5, I'd say. So like one was NIU, and they were recruiting me like really hard since like day one. Yeah. And then, but there was something about, like, no knock against NIU.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now.
Sorry, we got Alexa. We rent the back room to like some to some guests. Nah.
So like
strippers are here.
NIU. Yeah. So like, no knock to NIU, and I love their coach, but there was just something about the school that I just didn't feel like it fit me. And then Hofstra, which is in New York. And the same thing.
Did you go out there? And
visit? Yeah. I took an official visit to NIU and an official to Hofstra too. But it was something about Hofstra that I didn't like either. Right. And then once I did commit after my official visit, like Hofstra kind of just like
they went, because they always try to say, oh, you gotta try to commit by this time. If not, there's somebody else. You know. Right. So
yeah, that's the part that is stressful, because it's like I only had like 2 real offers, I feel like. And then they kept saying like, hey, like we can't wait on you. Yeah. But I'm like, dang, so do I like commit somewhere where I don't want to go because this might be my only option, or do I like bet on myself, gamble, play my senior year? And that's ended up basically what I did. And I told myself before my senior year, like, hey, focus on winning and everything else will follow. Because it's easy to just like think like, hey, look, I need to go out and I need to average 30.
Yeah, right? Especially because
you
got Coach K out there. You got
know what I'm saying?
You got all these big coaches that come to see.
So, but like I focused on winning. I ended up winning the state championship my senior year, with the best group of guys. And then I still didn't know where I was going. Like, I still wasn't getting recruited. And at this point, I'm frustrated because it's like, yo, bro.
What else I got to do?
2-time state champion at Whitney Young. Yeah. Nobody else has ever done that at Whitney Young. Like, and this is like Quentin Richardson went to Whitney Young. Like, no, not back to back. But like Quentin Richardson went to Whitney Young. Jaleel Okafor went to Whitney. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like all these great people are going to Whitney Young. You know what I'm saying?
Years.
Yeah. So I'm the only one has done that. And then I played on EYBL Mean Streets. Like started on that team. Denver played the entire game. And then it's just like, bro, like things wasn't really adding up for me. Right?
I know my name, right?
Like things wasn't really adding up. So I ended up like one of my coaches told me about Loyola, and they were like, "Hey, would you be interested in seeing about Loyola?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I was open to anything, like everything.
And how was Loyola like your senior year? How was that team? Because the next year they made it to the Final Four, right? Your freshman year.
From what I hear, I don't really know. I don't really remember for certain, but I think they were on the rise because when Coach first got the program, they were rock bottom.
Yeah.
And then as some years went by, you know how long it takes.
Yeah, a couple years.
He finally gets his own recruits.
Right.
And then I think they won the CBI.
Yeah.
Which is like the tournament under the NIT that year. Mm-hmm. So
okay.
Yeah. Oh, so they just kept going. Yeah. Yeah.
So I ended up like I took like 6 unofficials. I never took an official because it was just right up the street. Yeah. But I took like 6 unofficials. Like I came on campus, I looked around, I was like, whoa, I had no idea like this campus was here.
Yeah.
So I was like,
does that to you.
Yeah. I was like, Dad, you gotta come up here, you gotta see it. Like you'll be crazy.
Yeah.
And if y'all meet my dad, he's just a clown. He's like, yo, I'm only going up there because there's a Popeye's chicken around the corner. Because he wasn't sold on Loyola at all. And then I was like, yo, Mom, you got to come up here and see it. And so my whole family was blown away. And then I was like, you know.
And what part of the city were you guys from before you guys visited Loyola?
I grew up in the South Loop.
Okay.
And then, like, when I was like 10 years old, I moved with my mom to like the West Side area.
Okay.
I was right by Whitney Young. And then... So like we never even went up north.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't go over there.
There was no reason for me to go up north.
Don't even know how to get on Lakeshore Drive.
Right. And if we was going on Lakeshore, it was going south. Like we went to Chicago State or Simeon, or you know what I'm saying? So and then I met Coach and the coaching staff, and then I was like, you know what, I could actually see myself being here for 4 years. And then I just made the decision. Which kind of feels awkward because like you're making such a big decision. It's just like a leap of faith, basically.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta bet on yourself.
Like,
you gotta bet
did
on
I know
yourself.
he was gonna make the Final Four that year?
Nah.
No.
You didn't get a scholarship. You were on a scholarship freshman year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you was.
Yeah. No, I was. Yeah, I wouldn't have came to Loyola if it wasn't for right. Like, no, we can't afford college. Like,
yeah, we need definitely the
right. From Chicago, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Any advice? The advice that I would give to people that are going through the recruiting process is stay the course. You know, believe in yourself. If you know you put the work in, then bet on yourself. And then if something comes along that you really feel like you could be there, you see yourself there. You can build a relationship with the coach, then go for it.
Yeah, I think when you're picking a school, like you said, you took 6 unofficial visits. Mm-hmm. You got to go more than once.
Yeah.
You got to go a couple times. Mm-hmm. Like, and I feel like once you're on that school, like you said, you called your mom, like you got to pull up. Mm-hmm. You know, like you know what you made your decision. You feel comfortable enough.
Yeah, and then it's like you make your decision. You got to live with it. There's no like I told myself like, hey, I'm committed to Loyola. Ain't no more waiting on nothing else.
Right.
Like ain't no more like I'm gonna be happy. I'm playing Division I basketball. I have a really good coach, a really good program. I got it made. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be at peace with my decision. And then
the rest is history.
You know what I'm saying? So
all right, we can fast forward then. I kind of want to jump into the Final Four. Mm-hmm. You know, we went to your high school process. We're gonna like break it down like a movie.
Okay.
So the first game you guys play is Miami.
How did you
Yeah.
do that? Selection? What was it? Selection
Sunday?
I know y'all were getting in the tournament. Like, how did that feel?
Wait, say that again.
Like when y'all knew like we're getting in the tournament, like how did that feel?
We had an automatic bid because we had won our conference tournament. So at NBC, if you win the conference tournament, you have an automatic bid to March Madness. Right. So we played, I think it was Illinois State in the championship, and they were tough. They had Malik Yarbrough, who was on the draft boards, a couple of other guys that were actually pretty good basketball players. And I think we just smacked them. Yeah. I think we just we gelled so much that season. Like we grew so much as a team. We were an older team, and then like we just
it was perfect. Yeah,
yeah. It was just like
Was it just
chemistry, confidence, like whatever you want to call it, like will, grit. Yeah. Like we was not about to lose. Like
that's it.
Like you know, like
and that's what I was saying earlier. You guys, a lot of the games were really close games. Like you guys fought all the way.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of people prepare for you guys. I know you guys earned your respect.
Yeah, and you want to talk about preparation, bro. First of all, let me tell you, there is no other. No disrespect, you know what I'm saying, but like I promise you, there is no other college program that prepares for a game like we do. The amount of film that I've watched in my 4-year tenure here, it probably is more than the average college basketball player. Yeah. You know, we watch film. Like I'll go into a game completely confident because I know all of the other teams' plays. Yeah. I know, like sometimes we even know what the names of the plays. Yeah, because the coaches be calling like all the other because you know coaches talk. Yeah, so they'll be calling all the other coaches like, hey, what do they call this play? Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. So like, we're confident because we prepare, we practice, we so that's where our confidence comes from. So when we play Miami, it's like we already knew who Lonnie Walker was. You know what I'm saying? So we already knew all his strengths. We knew he liked to do this, do that. You know, we knew he was a freak athlete. Yeah. You know, so there was no surprise when we go out there and like he's hooping like an NBA player. Yeah. You know, because you prepare for that. You prepare for that. So yeah, like.
That game, there was you guys were the 11th seed. Miami was the 6th seed. You guys won 64-62. Do you remember the last couple seconds of that game? Or
yeah, I don't remember the last couple seconds of that game.
That was that conversation, right? But he remembered.
Yeah. I was like, so yeah, just like can you know, you were a freshman, right? Being a freshman, being on like the biggest stage, you know, in the country, everybody's watching March Madness, like you know, and I'm sure you guys broke everyone's bracket. You busted everyone's bracket, like you know what I'm saying. So just that feeling of being there, the intensity of the you know, because there was people there. It's not like now. It was a crowd and.
At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Like you get over that really quick. Like we had played at sold out arenas. We played Florida on the road, and we beat Florida on the road, and that gym was completely filled. So I mean, you get over it because you're so locked into the moment.
Okay. Right.
Like, when you hoop, you hoop. I was probably like, you know, like me and this other guy were both probably like 6 man. That season, like we both played, like I played 20 minutes a game my freshman year, so like I was always like coming in and out. So as soon as you check in, you know, you're kind of like feeling a little jittery. You know, you might look at the stands a little bit and be like, man, like this is it. You know what I'm saying? But then as soon as the whistle blows, it's like, all right, like what am I doing? Like
I got 32.
Yeah, it's basketball at the end of the day, and it's no different from playing in a local YMCA. It's just
and on the March Madness, are you guys like on the road nonstop? Or are you just going from hotel to hotel? Are you guys like you know, because you guys are in the tournament, you guys are going playing somewhere else. You're not playing at home, you know.
So what it was is
how's that being on the road? You know, I've been on the road, but Division III not as big. You know, we've went other places, but during the March Madness, you know, it's bigger.
It's no different than what you probably expect. Like, it's neutral court, so it's not like you're going on the road and playing somebody at their home court. So they got to do the same thing that you do. Yeah. So, it's like it's more so like, hey, like this is March Madness, you know. So it's like I think the first couple of games we were in like either Dallas or I don't know, but like you play like the whole first weekend, like the first couple of games in one location. Then the next weekend you fly out to somewhere else. But we prepare for tournaments like that anyway. So like we play. That's why you play tournaments during the season.
Yeah, the same crowd, same turn.
It's like you play on. I think you play on like I don't remember. Like if you play like on a Friday, you turn around. You play on like a Sunday. If you play on a Thursday, you play on a Saturday. So like it's a quick turnaround, but
ain't no time for breaks, isn't there?
Yeah, no. It's like it's a full clock. Like for us, it's like you wake up, you watch film. You go back to your hotel room, you chill out for a little bit. You come back, you go to the gym, you practice, you do all of that. You come back, go to your hotel room for about 15 minutes, come back down, you're watching film again, you eat dinner.
That was the best parts to me, the dinners on the road, bro. Bro, they used to be like, yeah, we're going to go to, he used to ask, like, what's in the location, like, what's over here, and pick a spot.
Really?
Like that's what they would do for us. So like he's like, all right, we're gonna pick this restaurant, and he'll ask because he like the coach didn't know anything. So he's like, all right, we're playing, somewhere.
That's normally how it is, like on the road. But like for the tournament, there's no time for that.
Oh, okay.
So like we were eating like the hotel room would cater it. So like we would eat
for a while too, right?
Oh, okay.
So like we're in the hotel room eating the hotel food, we eat, and then we watch more film after that. The next day you wake up, film in the morning, go back, go to walkthrough, and then you play the game later on that night, and then you repeat the process for the next game.
Yeah. Is film specifically during the tournament? Is it about how much of it is about the opponent versus getting better yourself and your team getting better?
I'd say the majority of it is the next team.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, like we used to watch something called Get Better Tapes, and so that's like they film every practice, they film every game, obviously. But so like we'll go through what we need to do, what we need to get better at, and then we'll get into the other team that we're about to play. So it's quite we'll have like 2-hour film sessions.
Yeah. I remember we used to have practices specifically just for a player. Like he'd be like, so our practices, like when we coached, every single day was like a different letter in the alphabet. So like if it was Wednesday and it was like a C, so we'll be like we're doing character or like different stuff, focusing on that, like, and do different drills that all started with C, whatever. But like if there was a player that his name ended up, it was like E, like we're focusing on him. You know what I'm saying? Like he would do different things like that just for a different player. And we knew who was scoring 29 points a game. We knew who was scoring 30 points a game, and try to take those guys out of their element. Make them feel uncomfortable. Just different things. There's so much that goes into being a basketball player.
Yeah, and it's like as a team, it's like, does this team run in transition, or are they more of a half-court team? All right, so who is their plays majority running for? You know what I'm saying? Are they a post-up team or are they a three-point shooting team? Because you play those teams completely different. Yeah. Like, do we have a mismatch? Do we need to
cover the
trap the post?
Yeah, trap.
Or do we need to, because if you trap the post, then it's like if they skip it, then we're scrambled. Like, do they have 3-point shooters on the weak side? There's a lot that goes in. It's like, and that's all reads that you got to make while you're on the court too.
That's true.
That's why you practice. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why we had a lot of success, because there was a lot of carryover from the film sessions to practice to the game. Yeah. So like everybody sees what we did, and they like to call it a fluke. But it's like y'all don't see all this preparation went into
hard work.
What I'm saying? Like there's a reason why all of these we're in the game. Like
to have the
you know what I'm saying? To have the opportunity for Dante to hit the shot against Miami, or for Clay to hit the shot against Tennessee. There's a reason why we're in the game.
Right.
And that Tennessee game, which was the next game, it was 63-62. Was that a buzzer beater?
It wasn't a no. So
or late second.
Yeah, it was like they had
the one from the wing.
No, that was Nevada, but this is one where Clay kind of shot like a 1-footed floater type thing from the elbow, and it bounced and stayed on the rim for at least 40 minutes. But and then they had a oh my god, I remember because I blacked out when Dante hit the shot. I don't know what happened. I don't know where I was. I can't tell you. I can't walk you through that one. But when Clay hit the shot, they still had like maybe like 5 seconds left on the clock. So my mind, we didn't celebrate. It was
of
like,
course, get back. Yeah,
like,
the game's not over.
Get back. So we get back, and the dude, he dribbles all the way up to the top of the key and gets a wide open look. And oh my God, I thought the ball was in the air for at least, it was, bro. I swear to God, it was a slow motion, bro. But then he missed, and I was like, oh my God.
And who was on that Tennessee team? That Tennessee's always nice.
Oh no, hey. So when I go and I talk to the guys that are on the team, when we talk about the tournament run, we always talk about Tennessee because we have no idea. like we were a good team, but like sometimes, like, oh my God, bro, Tennessee had some players.
Yeah,
like
they could hoop.
Like
that's a good program. Tennessee's a great program.
And that year they had just won the SEC. I think.
Where were they seated?
They were third in the
So, and I remember like I said, I came off the bench, and I was like one of the first people to come off the bench. So if I came in before the first media timeout, that means somebody wasn't doing their job, right, bro? So they go on like a crazy run, like I forgot what his name was, but he's probably like the strongest dude, like the closest to LeBron that I've ever been next to. Like this guy was like he was built on the NBA draft boards, like all of that. Like, and he could shoot too. That was a crazy thing. He was so swole, and he could still, like, he had a strap. So he goes out, he hits like 3 threes back to back, like that, right? So I get subbed in, and then I think somebody had turned the ball over. The first play that I'm in the game, turns the ball over to this guy, and I'm at half court, and he's at the wing, right? And he's got the dribble, and I just got to sprint. Right. And he beats me to the rim and does like this monkey dunk. I was like, oh no. Coach calls a timeout after that, and he cusses us out. We come out and we ended up like battling back. But like, oh my God, those first 4 minutes. Yeah. If you go back and rewatch that game, those first 4 minutes, it looked like it was about to be a 30-point blowout.
Damn.
That's tough. I thought that story was gonna end with a chase down.
What? No, it wasn't. If you jumped on that, you was gonna end up on Sports Center. No, it wasn't. No, none of that.
No, I don't want to watch me.
No, that was one of those.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Yep, about next one.
Run the third set.
So does that give you guys? I know you guys are rolling right now. You're 2-0. Now you got Kansas State, right? You guys win. You guys win by 16.
Wait. Yeah. Did we play K-State?
K-State 11. Yeah.
No, we played Nevada next, right?
Oh, we played Nevada. Yeah. Oh, you guys won by it was 69-68. Yeah. So that was a buzzer beater or
that one was Marcus hit a shot from the corner. It was like a pump fake,
side
step. Yeah. And that was like it kind of put the game out of reach, I feel like. So it was like a seal the deal type thing. But that game, they had the Martin brothers on that team.
You right?
You don't know who the Martin brothers are?
Oh, yeah,
the twins?
Yeah, very nice.
And
you're right, yeah.
Like, they are probably one of the best players that I've ever been on the court with.
Yeah, that you played with.
They could do it all. And they were all like the 6'7", slim. Like both of them are on NBA rosters right now.
Yeah.
So you see their face, I'm pretty sure. They're like the two light skins. They had braids.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that kind of.
Yeah. If you see him, you definitely know.
He looked like me.
And I had to guard them. Like that was my that was my assignment. So, that whole game was just so back and forth, and then finally but we had the confidence, like I said, because of our preparation, and on top of that, you get so far in the season, and you have been through it all with these guys. You've won a championship with this team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know the rest of my teammates like the back of my hand. Right. I know what they're gonna do. So it's like we get in the trenches with the team down late in the second quarter. It's like, all right, tighten the screws.
Yeah, let's get it.
You know, like,
let's
let's
get
go.
it in. Yeah.
Because, like, Nevada, you're a nice team, but we're nice too, and we can hoop too.
We hoop,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
It's true. You do know the players. I've seen this guy get ripped, like the ball stolen straight from him maybe like 3-4 times since I've been playing with him, and I know run with him because he's going for the chase down.
I got a few chase downs too, bro.
Somebody needs to secure the rebound.
I'm not gonna. I'm, if you rip me up dead on, like, you gotta score a bucket.
Right.
I'm not gonna, it's like you just wanna, like, you just gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just do it.
yeah,
As a young coach, that was one of the things I did not understand players not having. Just getting ripped up at the top of the key, being the fastest guy on the floor, and you're not going to try to get it back. Like, you just, man.
no, and that's a great way for high schoolers to get like on a college radar. It's like a lot of college recruiters, they already know what you can do. They want to see what you do when things don't go your way. So when you turn the ball over, are you pouting? Are you looking at the ref like?
Yeah,
or are you getting back on defense?
Yeah,
because if you're getting back on defense, that means like, hey, whatever happened to me, whatever happens to the team is greater than whatever happens to me. You know what I'm saying? Because in college, you can't do that. You'll never see somebody turn the ball over and not get back.
You just get subbed out instantly.
Yeah, you'll get subbed out instantly. You'll probably won't play the rest of the half. There is none of that. Like, if my teammate turns the ball over, I'm sprinting back.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So
you gotta hold everybody accountable.
Exactly, because that's how you win games.
Yeah, and then you guys roll and win Kansas State by 16.
Oh yeah. At that point, it was like, hey,
no
we're one game away from the Final Four. Like, it started to get like real. Like, hey, we could make it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And K-State had just beat Kentucky. Like, they were kind of rolling.
Right.
And they were like, yo, we just beat Kentucky. Like, this thing is in the bag. And we was like,
hold on.
Okay.
We from Chicago.
Like, no. And I think, Ben had his career high that game. I think he had 25. He hit like 5 threes. And like, we were firing on all cylinders that game.
So they thought they were dancing, but it was y'all dance.
I mean, and like I said, like, we were one game away from the Final Four. We didn't care that we had beat Miami, Tennessee, Nevada. Like, it was, we gotta beat K-State and then we in the Final Four.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got an opportunity to do something that only a few teams have done before, and there's no place for us to celebrate right now.
In Loyola history, how many times have they made it to the Final Four before that?
So that's actually an interesting story because we actually have a national championship.
Oh, do you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in 1963, our basketball team won the national championship, and there's actually like a nice little story about that they had, it's called a game of change. And so there was a team in Mississippi, because this is the 60s. There was a team in Mississippi that wasn't allowed to play in the NCAA tournament because their governor and a whole bunch of people said, like, you're not going to play against black athletes.
Wow.
And then, that year they said, all right, if we make the tournament, we're going to go. There's no point. Like, we want to play against the best. Yeah. So they went, and the governor told them that they can't go. So they ended up having to sneak out. And then they played Loyola. They ended up losing to us, but then
so there's Loyola, a lot of history in that.
Yeah, Loyola was the first team to play 4 black players.
Oh shit!
To start 4 black players, because there was an unwritten rule that, and here's the funny. This is funny. So there's an unwritten rule that said you can only play 2 black players at a time, unless you're losing by a lot. Oh my god! Isn't that funny? I know. Like, that's funny. So like, you can't play the black players until you're down a lot of points. And then it's like, okay, hold on, let's get back into the game.
Them old ass coaches are rolling in their graves right now. They like, what did this have turned into? Because you cannot stop that.
Yeah. So that's actually a part of Loyola history that we there was a player on that team that got approached by Jackie Robinson and stuff like that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Did you know that story before you went to Loyola?
Not before, but once you get once you get there, like
you learn the
the
history.
63 players are still here.
Okay.
So I have a great relationship with a lot of those players. Like we have a lot of them I talk to all the time. A lot of them are season ticket holders. A lot of them come to all of our games and
alumni.
And if you talk to them, like some of the things that they had to go through back then, it's just it's crazy.
So they were very happy to see that run.
Oh yeah. Oh, like some of them were even crying.
Yeah.
Because it's like before that, people forgot who Loyola basketball was, and now it's like
we know the feeling.
As y'all are like going on this run, like did y'all like watch Sports Center? Like how did that feel? Like, y'all were literally like the talk of the whole tournament. Like how did that feel? Like did y'all watch?
You got like your family at home texting you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like your friends.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice. Like
did y'all pay attention to the media and Sports Center? And
I mean,
and stuff like that?
so like to a certain extent, because it was like I said, it was
every game you guys weren't supposed to win, so I already
but like not to us. In our eyes, it was like we could hoop.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So like it was cool. It was cool to like, you know, after the games you go turn on Sports Center, they're talking about the tournament, you know, Loyola's like upset and like this, that, and the other. Like it was cool. But then like I said, it's quick turnarounds. So you'll play a game on Thursday, you got another game on Saturday. So it's like you wasn't out. You know what I'm saying?
You don't get to celebrate.
Like
last
it
round
wasn't
victory.
like once it was time, like
The job's not done.
once we like for me, it was like once we sat down and watched film on the next team, whatever happened in the last game, I don't care about.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter. If we go out, we get smacked by Tennessee.
Right.
But who cares?
Everything
We hit
else
a
is
game winner in the first round.
They had a game winner first round.
Who cares?
And beat
Nobody will
somebody.
remember that.
Right.
But we focus in. We beat Tennessee. Okay. We focus in and we beat Nevada. Okay. We focus in. We make the Final Four.
Right.
Now you start to remember the whole ride.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of like focusing in and enjoying the ride is part of it. But then it's like, all right, what's your goals? Like we didn't come into the tournament to just make the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, just to make it past the first weekend. No, we came in here to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, we really believed that we was gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So how do you balance those emotions? Did you get to Final Four yet, game?
No, we're getting yeah.
So I guess I'll ask this question now. We could talk about specific games. So how do you balance that emotions between like making that Final Four appearance and then just not getting all the way to like it all? Because it's such an accomplishment.
It's honestly, it's a lot easier than what you might think. I mean, at the end of the day, we made it to the Final Four.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can sit here and I can like be proud of the fact that I was a part of something like that.
Right.
Am I upset that we didn't make it to the championship? Yes and
That
no.
night.
That night you're upset.
Yeah, I was not even because like as soon as we lost and we came back into the locker room, yes, I was upset.
Right.
But y'all were more proud.
But then, you know, you go outside and you meet, like, you see your family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you see your girl, you see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and everybody, like, you go on social media and everybody's like, hey, like, you guys did something really special.
Right.
And then it's like,
That's true.
you get a Final Four ring.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, do you guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's like, yeah. So it's like, you know, you're more happy than
Right.
upset, like, of what could have been. Because, I mean,
It's more about just the normal. Is it kind of like the normal? You want to win every game. You know it's not gonna happen,
definitely.
but you want to win every game. You don't win.
You want to.
It's tough.
Yeah. So it's not. And it's just like you're just so proud of the fact that you made it to the Final Four that at a certain point it's just like, hey,
yeah, we still did it.
we did something special, you know.
Yeah.
So
then that game, what do you know specifically? Was it they were just all balling y'all?
the Final Four game.
Yeah, against Michigan.
Oh, you know we were supposed to win that game, right?
We don't even.
You know we were supposed to win that game, right?
We don't say that their team name. Michigan.
So there's 8 minutes left, and y'all know we were up by like 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were up, and then I don't know. We just played
Comfortable.
some bad basketball for a couple minutes, and like we said, you saw him talk about the scale gap.
Yeah.
If you not on your P's and Q's for 2 minutes, 10-point lead is going like that.
Right.
You know, so had some miss ups. I actually remember Duncan Robinson, who plays on the Heat right now, who's killing it.
Yeah.
Right. He had an off night. That night he was like 0 for 8. Right. And so Duncan Robinson's coming up, and they pass him the ball at like almost half court, right? And the scouting report was like, he has unlimited range. Like there are a few people, like there's people that we say have like Steph range. He was one of them, right? And so I'm like, but he's 0 for 8, so I'm just chilling back behind the 3-point. He shoots from like the half court line, and of course, the one shot he has to hit is on me. Yeah. So he all net.
Split cat.
Coach calls timeout. Of course, you already know I'm about to get chewed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, he went 0 for 8. Like, oh my god, like, but
shoot, man.
hey, but you know they hit that shot, and then it's like they get on a roll, and
that one shot could change. It turns it on quick.
I mean, basketball's a game of runs.
Who would you say earlier, Reef, was on that team?
Michigan?
Yeah, on that Michigan team.
Wagner.
Fuck. Oh, so. He is a college basketball nightmare, like matchup nightmare, because he's like AD of college. He is like 7 feet tall, could shoot the 3, could post up, and like we had to change up our whole defense just to like match, because it's like he could shoot, like we hadn't played a 5 that could shoot the 3. So, and we ice ball screen. So, like, if we're boxing up this ball screen, and normally the 5 rolls, and we got help down here, right? Well, he wasn't rolling. He was popping, right? And he was like, and normally if a 5 pops, it's like the pop to like get some other action on the weak side. No, he was popping to shoot.
Yeah. So it opened up your defense a lot. It opened up everything.
Yeah. So like we had to like.
But you
rotate.
have that help at the
exactly. Yeah. So like, and sometimes he would roll to the rim and then post up a guard. So it was just like, bro. And then so he ended up getting off. So I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's just like, what can you do? Like, he's a good player. Yeah, you know. So,
and that's what you scout for. You kind of expect.
Yeah, I mean, we kept him in check for a little bit, but then he kind of went off, and then. I mean, that's what good players do.
Right, that's the best you can hope for is contain them.
Good players adjust.
Right. So.
Or take what they give them.
But history would have been a little better with a championship, right?
Of course. I mean, a championship.
So if you guys win.
But then, what we're not going to talk about is how Villanova might have had like one of the best teams in a decade that year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because Michigan went out the next game and got blasted by Villanova. Like, that was the year they had Jalen Brunson, they had Mikal Bridges. Like,
tough.
Man.
Let me see if I got the score.
Of that,
yeah, Villanova. I don't have it.
You got it?
No, I thought you sent it.
No, I didn't.
Didn't catch it.
Because, Villanova had a squad that year. Yeah, like they steamrolled through the whole tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think they had.
That was their back-to-back. Didn't they win back-to-back or?
It might. If it went back-to-back, it was like 2 and.
Yeah.
2 and 4,
no, I think it was. I think it was 2 and because Jalen Brunson got 2 March Madness rings.
Right. That's what I'm saying. March Madness ring. Yeah, he got 2. Yeah. They won back-to-back, didn't they?
I don't know if they won back-to-back.
It might have been 2 and 3 or 2 and 4.
Oh,
but yeah. I think. But
they breezed through. They breezed through.
Yeah.
That might have been their redemption tour. Like I think they got bounced out early the year before. And then
everyone did. Though Michigan got knocked out that year. Remember, Villanova got locked out that year. It was a couple upsets, and then they came back and won. That's what it was. Yeah, it was one off.
So. Yeah, I don't know. That would have been a matchup nightmare. Like Mo Wagner was a matchup nightmare, but that was one person. Like it would have been like you got Mikal Bridges who's playing a shooting guard.
Yeah.
You know, and he's 6'8", and it only gets taller from that. So it would have just been, I don't know. We would have found a way to like make it a game.
Right, that's what y'all do.
But they was a squad though. That would have easily been the best team we played that entire year. We played some nice teams.
Yeah.
You know?
That would have been a lot of film, huh?
Oh my God.
So is that a goal that you guys want to get back to?
No doubt.
Yeah, right.
Especially now because it's like we know we can do it.
Yeah.
And you still got guys on the team that have been there. Like me. Like,
Yeah.
I know exactly what it takes to get there. So it's like,
Let's do it again.
let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
We still got the same coaching staff. The coaches are still there. Like, you know, like why not? We could do that.
How's Villanova look this year?
But
No,
hey,
you
like,
get there when you get there. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I mean,
as one of the older guys now, is it do you shoot to make it there or do you shoot to get beyond? Like obviously you go in every game you want to win, so you see yourself as national champions, obviously. But like the team,
we don't even. It's all about the journey.
Yeah, win the conference.
This-
So like and when I say that, like the more important part is day one,
right?
right? So whenever the season might be, because there will be a season someday.
Yeah.
There will be a season. So what are we doing today to prepare that we can win game one?
Right.
Yeah.
We win game one, check. All right, game two. What are we doing to win game two? All right, won game two, check. Do that the entire season, right? Then it's like, then you get to the mentality where it's like one game at a time.
Right.
You put all your energy and
not
focus
just
in
focus
one
on the
game,
next game.
because then otherwise, you know, something like a K-State happens where it's like, you know, K-State coming from, I think they're in the Pac-12. I think. You know, they're playing Loyola,
Yeah.
Chicago. Who knows?
And they fall asleep.
You know, they just beat Kentucky.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who is this team? We about to roll it. We in the Final Four already. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we don't think like that.
Right.
You can't think like that because otherwise you get smacked. Because it's college basketball.
Yeah.
And everybody is nice.
Right.
If you look past an opponent, they're gonna smack you. Don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Right. So that's our mentality. We take it one game at a time. So yeah, we do talk about, hey, yeah, we want to make it to the final. We can get back there. But then at a certain point,
It's about tonight.
like once we get closer to the season, you
Yeah.
won't hear us talk about where we're going at all.
right.
Yeah, you just
talk
hoop.
about
You
the
just
journey.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
just. Yeah, and then this is the next journey. Kawhi just slammed somebody though. You see that? He just slammed somebody.
If someone doesn't watch college basketball,
And I,
watches NBA, who would you say in the NBA your game is most like? Not to say that you're.
My game.
what's your prototype? What's your 2K prototype, bro? What's your,
I don't know. I like
or who do you mold your game or like shape your game?
who I shape my game after. Well, one of my favorite players of all time was Dwayne Wade.
Nice.
All right. And I kind of pick, like, first of all, like, you want to talk about advice to give to, like, the next generation. It's like you got to pick players that are realistic to who you are. You can't, like, say, oh, yeah, LeBron James is my model.
And you're 6'1".
Like, yeah. Like, no.
Yeah.
The only, like, if Zion Williamson said that, okay, all right, that's, you know, but, like, bro, if you're, like, 6'1" with, like, a 20-inch vert, come on, bro. Yeah. So, like,
That's what.
if you said your idol, if you model your game after LeBron James,
I told you I can't jump.
like that's just completely unrealistic. So like for me, it was like I knew I was getting under recruited. I knew that, you know, I'm not like have a 45-inch vert. You know what I'm saying? So it's like who can I model
true
my
to
game
yourself
after?
and
So
work
it's
it
like I love CJ.
Yeah, CJ goes
You know,
crazy.
CJ had the same type of journey that I did. Went to mid-major.
He's a journalism major as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, journalism.
I
He
didn't
has a
know that.
podcast that I actually listen
I
to.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's dope.
Yeah.
So
Or
like
You should check it out.
Yeah,
You should check it out.
I
yeah.
should.
Yeah, CJ's nice. Man.
CJ has always been one of my favorite players. Dame
Dame
of
just
course.
saying,
But you know, Dwayne Wade, he went to Marquette.
Donovan Mitchell, a lot of players.
Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
especially when he was on the Bulls,
Right.
because he had the same I mean, Jimmy Butler has been through
intensity.
some stuff.
Yeah. But he was a
So
adopted.
yeah. So like players like that, and then I also like look into like, you know, guys like Pat Bev, like Marcus Smart, like a Pat, like, was it PJ Tucker?
Yeah.
From Houston. So it's like, you know, and they don't complicate their role. All they do, they go out there, they play defense, and they hit wide open threes, and they get paid millions of dollars to do that.
Do your job.
Focus on.
So it's like, if I look at that and I'm like, I can play defense,
Look at
and I can knock down wide open threes.
Andre Robinson from OKC.
Yeah.
That's he's a lockdown defender.
Yeah.
Well, he can't shoot. I'm sure you can shoot better than him. But you know, he's a good example of a player that he's on the court because he works. Bro, I averaged 10 points a game my senior year, bro. And we didn't play no great competition. Like, we played decent
When
teams,
the Bulls had Keith Bogans.
but like I didn't come off the floor because I worked my ass off. Like, nobody outworked me in the game.
And I think like people love to idolize, like, you know, like Russ, like James Harden, like Kawhi, PG, and that's great. Idolize them, but at the same time, you got to realize that there are only a select few players in the NBA. Kyrie, there's only a select few players in the NBA that get to dribble the ball like that.
Yeah.
I promise you, if some dude from the bench came out and was working out, did a step back from 40 feet and tried to shoot like Dame, they're coming out the game.
And missed.
I've coached kids like that.
It might hit.
I've coached kids like that.
There's only a select few, like
what
a
are you
select
doing?
few, and like, and that is we're talking about the NBA.
Right. Yeah.
So when you want to talk about the numbers. So Division I is 1% of the 1% of high school basketball players, right?
Right.
The NBA is 1% of that 1%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then in that 1%, it's like you can probably only count 10 players in the NBA that have the complete green light to, like, you know, not 10, but like probably like 15 to 20 players.
Yeah.
Out of all 300 whatever players there are in, you know what I'm saying? So like,
Portland got 2 of them.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, if you want to talk about who to model your game after, well, if your strongest suit is defense, like me, there's no shame in saying that, like, you know, the best thing that I bring to the team is my defensive intensity.
Yeah.
What does Pat Bev get paid for?
Yeah.
Paid.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't get paid to do anything else but bring intensity on the court and hit wide open threes.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you should have seen him at Export. Bro, it's pickup, bro. This dude was different. Like, he arguing with niggas on the court, like, yeah. And I'm like, bro, there's no let up. There's no let
No off switch.
Like, and me and him were on the same team. We ran the whole day, like hours, bro.
Yeah,
you know
That was a random ass day.
bro, and just different motor. It's a different motor that comes with these kind of players.
And that's the average NBA player.
Yeah.
With that type of intensity at an export game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Export, open gym, whatever.
And he's hitting jumpers in the gym. I'm like, this thing can't shoot. What the hell?
You saw
But against us.
Once again, people don't understand how elite.
Yeah.
y'all saw
Like-
Kendrick Perkins' handle video?
Like, when I was in high school, my AAU coach told us that the bench warmers in the NBA would come to our practice, and this is like that's Mean Street.
Right.
I'm not talking about like my high school team. I'm talking about Mean Street. So this is the best players within the region.
Yeah.
He said a bench player on the NBA roster would come to our gym right now and bust our ass.
And y'all didn't believe him?
Like,
No, I didn't believe him until now.
Until you get
I'm like almost like, you know, I'm like a step below the NBA, and it's like,
Scalabrine will come and give you y'all buckets.
Yes.
he will.
Yes.
He will.
Have you had to remind people that you're a D1 basketball player?
What you mean?
People talking crazy, saying...
Because if I'm on the court with you, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna be talking a lot of shit. Even though
Chicago.
Y'all can't guard him.
I done heard. I played in Red West. So like when I'm playing against Farragut, North Lawn, like
you hear it
I
all.
heard it all.
Even the parents
So
talk
like
crazy, bro.
yeah,
Parents talk crazy.
I playing against you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and especially in college now, I laugh at people that try to talk mess.
Yeah,
because it's like
after a while,
I'm not from Chicago.
Yeah.
So don't even try to act like that. Like, bro, I don't care if you're from Detroit. I don't care if you're from New Jersey. I don't care. You're not from Chicago.
Nah.
Stop talking to me.
Even KD said in an interview about Pat Bev. He was like, yeah, Pat Bev's from Chicago. Like that's just how they are.
Bro.
Right. KD says it.
Bro, everybody in here from Chicago. Everybody plays like that.
Yeah.
Pat Bev is great, but I'm just saying, everybody plays like that. You know what I'm saying? You go to a regular high school basketball game.
Right.
Everybody's playing like that. They press the whole game, all up in your vest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
My players be asking me, Coach, we're gonna
Stop asking me. You know the answer.
we gonna run.
We're gonna run.
We gonna press.
We run.
We gonna red. Yeah, we gonna do all of that. We gonna, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to.
Like Coach Carter, what do we do in practice? Run. So what we do in the game?
Run.
And you realize, like you said earlier, the pace of the game is so much crazy. And even now, think about like comparing like a 90s, 2000s, and then you got now 2020, where they even say these kids are even way faster. Like these athletes, like the elite. To me, like it's a different, like you guys are a different breed of athletes, bro. Like y'all are really nice. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of y'all, and I think it comes with the preparation because, you know, and like you said, when we were in high school, we didn't know what to do. Like, you know, we didn't have the same opportunities or the same kind of, you know, we went to a smaller school than you. So imagine if you felt you didn't get the exposure. Imagine like us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but now that you guys, I feel like everyone, like it's even harder now. Like you guys are balling now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this generation is nice.
And just like the game evolves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really feel like Steph Curry really changed the game.
And now
because it went from 2s to 3s.
He made coaching high school basketball terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody wanted to be Steph Curry and shoot threes from half court.
Yeah.
But like the athletes that you see, like you gotta remember when you're watching an NBA game, you're watching the top athletes go against other top athletes.
Right.
So when you see like somebody blow past somebody, it might not really look like it. You get in front of them,
boom,
bro. Somebody go past you like that.
And think about Giannis, like he takes 2-3 steps from half court.
You know, that's Chico. Like
that's it.
Like how are you gonna guard him?
There's no.
Orlando
figured it out.
Cause they help. You got other people.
Yeah.
But then if
one-on-one match, there's no guarding him.
Yeah, but no. If Milwaukee is hitting shots,
6 fouls.
You get 6 fouls.
If Milwaukee is hitting shots, there's no way because he's just gonna kick it to Eric Bledsoe. He's gonna smack the three.
And that's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
So, but that I mean, I was saying it the other day. I feel like every team is built like that now. You have like a Luka, you have a Giannis running the ball, you have LeBron running the ball, and they surround everyone around shooters. Like, everyone. You catch and shoot, you move that ball, the rotations, like that's why the game's so much faster. Everything is just
because you got those mismatched guys that draw double teams, and you got a great passer like LeBron or Giannis, and they just
quick
to the three.
Luka was in the air, right in the pocket. I'm like, how did he half second, like before falling to the ground, find somebody?
Then he started talking about his badge that he can't do it in 2K. He can't pass out there.
Man, I don't want to talk 2K, bro. You play 2K?
Y'all play 2K in the Women's team?
Well, they do, but I don't really play 2K. I'm more of a Call of Duty guy.
All right, you play Warzone?
I do play a little bit of Warzone.
My phone's been blowing up. This like if you want to, he's our squad leader. You know, every night. Jose's calling me right now. He's trying to get on.
Get on.
Yeah. No, Call of Duty's fun though. It's just frustrating. I stopped playing 2K because it's just frustrating. I went on to Call of Duty.
I stopped playing 2K because they made it too realistic for me.
But it became too realistic where there was no in betweens. I feel like it's either you're good or you're ass, like a player. Like
For me, it was like I go out in the real world, I go to lifting, I watch film, I go to practice, and I play the games, and then I come home and I get on a game, and then you want me to watch film, go to practice, lift, and then play the games?
Yeah.
No.
Too much. Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait. What kind of 2K player are you? Are you the type you play with the real teams, or you go straight to your my player?
Oh, well, I was playing 2K. It was playing the teams.
I'm never my player guy. I'm never.
No, I love my player, but I would play like my.
I'd rather play,
I wouldn't play my part.
Yeah, me either. I've never did my part.
And then they made the park where it was kind of confusing. I didn't know where to go.
Bro,
I had to like go to my apartment.
Me too. They be
then
telling me where to
like,
go. I don't know where.
I was like, yo, I just want to hoop. Like, I just want to play the game. I don't care about my apartment.
Niggas get a haircut.
They had like a whole story, and I was like, bro, I don't care about any of that.
That's what we were saying.
I just want to do a step back and hit a three. Like,
Let me get saucy.
all right.
That's what we were saying. Like kids nowadays, like they'll play my player, but they don't know nothing about real basketball. They don't know who they don't know who Luka is. They just know they're my player.
Yeah, they know. Everybody know Luka. Other players, I understand.
They know that their build is a two-way slashing defender, a two-way slashing playmaker.
I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk 2K, bro. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
That's Mike's build.
It is frustrating. Nah, but the NBA right now, you got Dame, like you said, you got CJ, you guys get these guys going crazy.
I got a hot take.
What is it? What's up?
It's from ESPN. It's not my hot take.
Okay.
Max Kellerman.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say. I already know.
He said Dame's the best player in the world since the bubble opened up. Reef.
Message. He hates Dame, bro. Well, he don't hate Dame. No. He don't hate Dame. He's been hating on Dame for 2 weeks. Let me put that. Because before that,
How?
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
he's bitter. He's bitter. No.
How?
Confirm or deny.
He's a Knicks fan. He's just
Confirm
upset.
or deny.
According to reports,
He's from New York. He's just a little upset.
According
He's been
to,
upset for a few years.
You're from Chicago.
hey,
According to IG group chats, Reef says Dame is trash. Overrated.
Everybody said that. No,
He said,
they
his
said
exact words was, "He's not that guy."
All right, yo,
facts. Bro, I almost left the group message, bro.
bro, you can't even argue with that.
So Devin Booker's not that guy either.
Huh?
My argument there was that I know Dame.
Before yesterday's game,
No, I fuck with Dame. As my roommate here knows, I fuck with Dame. You know
Before
what
you
I'm saying?
continue,
Dame is
he also
awesome.
trolls heavy.
Dame is great, you know what I'm saying? I remember, man, Weber State, all that shit, he was great. He came in as a rookie, underrated, already good. He's been good. He's been a great player. He's elite. I've given him all of that. Only thing is, now that he's like fighting for the AFC, like you gotta put it into perspective.
He has
We're
to ball out.
fighting
He has to
for
ball
the
out.
AFC, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that team. Like, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But I mean, obviously, it's still like discrediting his shit, but it's still just kind of like, bro, you're fighting for the AFC. You gotta give him 50 nightly right now. Especially
to stay alive. I feel you to stay alive. I
You
feel
gotta
you.
score, you know
I
what I'm
feel like
saying?
you're
That was my thing.
massively, like,
And niggas was
Bro,
giving him like.
do you understand?
you're right
This
there
man
with
was
Curry.
giving you 50 every night.
I'm also a James Harden fan too.
Like-
'Cause, like he does that shit like
Every
on the
day.
women. People are like, man, he's dribbling out there, and I'm like, yeah, but he's also putting in about half of his shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So if
Dame was shooting 40. He's been shooting 42%.
you respect Harden's game, you got to respect Dame's game.
He's elite.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, I'm not with the until he like actually
Okay.
beat somebody. I'll see him as that guy.
Okay.
Right now he's kind of like a lower level of elite.
So who would you say is that guy?
Like Giannis is a type
Stop
of
it.
I'm gonna change my team. LeBron, I'm gonna change my team. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think Dame is that player?
Dame, I'm gonna get my team to the. Is he Curry? No. You know, he's not.
He's
the
better
top.
than Kyrie right now.
Curry. He's a Curry.
Oh, Curry.
Kyrie, he's injured.
Kyrie. No, stop it. Please stop it right now. No.
Bro, I understand you're heavy on Brooklyn right now, but take the cap off, my nigga. Can we get a video? Take the hat off. Bro, come on. Kyrie hasn't hooped in about 2 years. You can't even compare him to a nigga who's dropping 50 last week every night.
When Dame gets bounced, what are we gonna say?
If he got bounced against LeBron.
Exactly. Every year is gonna be a cape. I swear to God.
Just like every year LeBron had an
small forward. Now you got
right now it's LeBron got no fans.
Now
LeBron got no fans, so he can't win. That's the excuse right now.
Last year we played the Avengers.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see something.
His bullshit has a great point. He presents the bullshit so eloquently.
On a platter, right? No, but I understand what you're saying because that's how I was with Kobe before Kobe won the two back-to-back. When he had the 3, like rest in peace Kobe, all that, you know what I'm saying? Top 5 best players of all time in my eyes.
And some people was already like, you can't tell me nothing about Kobe.
And you got LeBron, you know what I'm saying, coming in, the young best player in the league. I'm high on LeBron. It's 2008, 2009. I'm high on LeBron. Even with the Celtics being the number 1 team. Like, I'm not saying Kobe's the number 1 player in the world. Then he wins that first ring. Boom. Then wins another one. I'm like, yeah, Kobe. Yeah, Kobe's that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was already crazy. He was, you know what I'm saying, won 3 ships with Shaq. But those last 2 solo, like, solidified. Which this is a different tier. But I get what you're saying with Dame. He hasn't proved anything to you yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't proved anything to you yet. But what I do say, I think what Dame's doing now, pulling up from the logo, a lot of people are gonna try to copy. It's new. Steph did it already.
It's not new though.
No. Steph did it, but he wasn't doing it like that. What this is different. Like
whoa.
That's what blows me. Like people are like discrediting.
Yeah. I'm not discrediting Steph.
Bro, it's like what?
Giving the credit to Dame, discredit Steph.
Hey, can we put a highlight reel of Steph pulling from the half? I'm sure we can do that.
He can do that. Remember what you said when you sagged off Duncan Robinson and Steph Curry. I called that shot when he hit it against Westbrook and against OKC. Yeah. He walked in right off half court. I said he's about to pull it.
Yeah.
Pulled it. I know he does do that. But right now, in the news, how the news works right now, this is the most talked about thing. You know what I'm saying? Like this is being hyped up like.
But you can't say that Steph haven't been doing this.
He's been doing it. That's why kids so many are shooting. But what I think is he changed where his range was unlimited and he could shoot from anywhere.
Off balance. I was gonna ask you earlier about preparation stuff, but off balance, he shoots a lot of what the fuck?
Bro, remember he hit Chris Paul, boom, boom, threw it up. I said, what the fuck?
Do you remember that? It was like an elevator play where he has 2 screeners and he comes through the free throw. They pinch. Most people turn around set and see the rim. He's catching and shooting and turning all at once.
Not without seeing the rim.
And he had the ball to hold. No, he wasn't even catch and shoot. He dribbled through. I think he dribbled around and came up and was it elevator? It might have been supposed to be, but he had the man on his back and he just turned and pulled it.
Steph,
and it was like, why?
Steph didn't average 30-something a game a couple years ago for no reason. He wasn't the first unanimous MVP for no reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, I understand.
Throw him in there.
He says, rank him.
Dame, Steph, Kyrie.
Dame, Steph, Kyrie, and Westbrook. All right.
Those are 3 MVPs and some other guys.
And
Westbrook is 5. Westbrook is 5.
Definitely left.
Okay, don't need.
Westbrook is 5.
He averaged triple double,
but he can't shoot a shot.
But when he was stealing rebounds from Steven Adams, and he would cuss his teammates out when he would pass it to him and they didn't shoot.
Pace, though. You do know pace. Though.
Okay, but is he better? Is he better than Kyrie?
No.
Is he better than Dame? No.
Right.
No.
Career-wise,
is he better than Steph?
No.
No. Okay.
Hey, but better than
Who?
Dame?
Stop it. No.
No.
Career-wise?
No.
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 If Russ goes for 50, you can guarantee he's shooting like 70 shots.
Yeah.
Half of them are coming off the backboard.
It's cool though. It's the heart. It's the grit.
Yes, no, he plays hard. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about production.
Yeah.
Like
Efficiency.
who's a better player?
Yeah.
Like who? If you want to say who wants to win more,
The winner.
I don't know. You can't say that Dame don't want to win though.
Cause Dame time, bro. You know what time
You
it
can't
is.
say Dame don't want to win though. So, anyways, Russ is last. All right.
Disrespect next.
I'm gonna put Kyrie fourth because he's not playing. Because he's not playing. Because he hasn't been playing. So I'm gonna put Kyrie there. Who else you say? Dame and Steph.
You down to Dame and stuff right now?
But that's only 4 though, so we're missing a 5th, right?
He's like,
Yeah.
No, that's point guard. We're talking point guard.
There's
Talking
no
point
forward.
guard.
He's gonna do. It was 4. It was 4.
Oh, it
He
was
gave
4.
up 4 guys.
Top 4. Oh well, you
Kemba could
top
be
4.
Kemba, but I don't want to throw you at Kemba.
Kemba was
Kyrie
there.
down at all.
Kemba's not them.
Push Russ down.
I'll put Kemba before Russ.
For real?
I would.
Look at the right now. Yeah, I'm putting
Luka.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Luka's a point guard.
I'm gonna tell you this. The way I don't think Houston is ever gonna win an NBA championship.
I swear.
You heard it here first. I don't think small ball, whatever. I don't think they're ever gonna win an NBA championship because you got a ball hawk like James Harden and Russell Westbrook on the same team, and they both need the ball.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not gonna. I don't feel like it's gonna work. That's just my opinion.
And
So if I'm building a team that I want them to play together and work together and you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna choose Kyrie and Kemba, Dame and Steph over Russ. You know what I'm saying?
so is Kemba better?
I'm gonna throw him in there too.
They didn't even win with Chris Paul.
I was gonna say the 5th. That's why I said we only have 4. The 5th could be Chris Paul. But who in my eyes, I think Kemba's better than Kyrie right now. Look at the Celtics. The difference when you trade. Look at the difference.
It's hard.
I mean, systems, of course, the systems and chemistry and all that.
It's hard to say somebody's better than somebody when he hasn't even been playing.
He hasn't. That's why I don't even talk about it. But this guy, I got to throw him in there to make my
Almost
guy.
called it an apples to apples comparison because they both played on the same team back to back years, but Kemba's got these guys a year older.
Man, he got Tatum balling.
That's what
He
I'm
got Tatum after he worked out with Kobe.
Hey, but don't tweet. Kemba was hooping.
He was averaging what, almost 30 a game, 28, 26. He was in top 10 scoring.
Nobody else on that team.
Yeah. He's nice though. Kemba's nice. If you got to pick who's winning the NBA championship right now,
Oh my God! If you would ask me this yesterday,
you were
I would have an answer.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's up for grabs right now. Whoever,
That's a great answer.
I feel like it's anybody. Really feel like anybody could win. Dallas or the Clippers could win.
This is gonna be 1-1 right here.
Yeah.
The Bucks are playing the Nets, right?
The Bucks lost to the Magic.
Yeah,
Vucevic boy went for 37.
You know how you should do with him?
You know,
Vucevic, boy, he had 37, boy. Bro.
Vucevic.
Bro, that's his name. Bro, 37.
honestly, whoever plays the best from here on out is gonna win, and that sounds dumb, but I really feel like the teams are just neck and neck.
It's kind of like March Madness, kind of like
you don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know.
Yeah. Go either way.
The only team that I feel like there's 2 teams that I feel like are playing the way they should be playing, and that's the Clippers about to lose, so not the Clippers, but Boston. Boston looks solid right now, and they lost Gordon Hayward,
Right.
and they still look solid.
Don't sleep on Toronto.
Oh, Toronto too. My fault.
Yeah.
I love Toronto.
They all that Pascal, bro, they all work hard, bro.
Yeah, no, that is a unit. That's a
unit. That's a
bro,
team.
I said that Toronto was going to be back in the finals at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
When even when Kawhi left, people were like, Kawhi left and now Toronto. No, if you thought that, you really wasn't watching.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that team plays together. They play great basketball.
Right.
Kyle Lowry makes sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet. That's
hit
another one of
8-3,
my favorite players.
Yeah.
Like,
from Rockford, Illinois.
yeah, he played. He played in my conference.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So those two teams. Yeah, I say the Raptors and the Celtics are playing like how they should be playing. The West. The West.
Yeah. You got
I don't know.
Lakers, Mavs, Clippers. Who else?
It's
Utah, Denver. Hey, Donovan Mitchell's been going crazy.
He has.
57 one game.
He has.
And then he just dropped another 30. And they're
Did they win today?
They won today.
I was in practice.
Yeah, they were up 20. They won by 20.
Well, yeah, I guess they've been hooping too.
Yeah.
So
Who? You said who?
He's at Nuggets.
Thunder and
And
Rockets. Who's up on that? Rockets are up 1, right?
They played.
Crazy.
Rockets are up 1.
I said the Nuggets. Everybody always forgets the Nuggets too.
Yeah, but they're playing Utah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a solid team. Nuggets is another team.
Oh man, Jokic went crazy today.
Pick your poison.
They can't hold him. He was going, I think, another big triple double. Passing center, you know, one of those guys who can knock down a shot. And you're 7'2", he shoots back here. How are you supposed to block that? Like there's one of those cheat code kind of.
Right.
yeah,
He's one of those players.
I think game 2 and 3 of that Laker-Portland series will really tell the story, because we've seen LeBron lose game 1 and
I
turn
really
his team
feel like
around.
Game 1, he had his triple double.
Yeah.
And don't get me, that's hard to do. And I feel like game 1 was him saying like, "Hey, I want to do it with us."
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to feel the water, touch the water.
That didn't work.
Nah, now it's
I think
hooping.
LeBron about to have 60.
I think they woke him up
with like 4 assists, all the AD.
Yeah.
Like
Let me casually remind y'all who TF I am.
Yeah. He was
period. Like
yeah. Facts. Yeah, I think he's like I said, I think he has to average more than 30 this series.
That's why I said game 2 and 3, because we know what
he has to.
Game 2.
because bro,
Hassan,
I never understood the LeBron slander. Never did.
I don't care if he's a crybaby. He's this. They always be like,
whatever.
nah.
Like, come on, bro.
I've only ever said one thing about him that I
ain't trying to hear
didn't
none
like
of
was selling the foul and then the league following his lead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which they then turned flopping and put everything in there. I feel there's a difference between selling the foul and flopping. But
Jose got attacked for flopping in a game one time.
I did too.
You did too?
I mean, bro, I'm like top 5. Like, bro, I'm like the best player on our team at flopping.
Defensive player.
You have to. You got to eat it up. Because
you told me, get your big ass up.
Whenever I see centers flopping, I'm just like, bro, stop it.
I swear.
You're a little too big to
I
be
was
trying
there,
to
man. I was like, I'm gonna take this charge.
I remember.
He just had like 3 in a row. I'm like, I'm gonna take this charge.
I'm good at
It's,
that.
Took it. Ref said, "Get your big ass up."
You ain't touching me, bro.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, no, because you're good at playing defense, so you can predict the, you know what I'm saying, the position.
Well, since some people work tomorrow to like wrap
Oh yeah, we're
wrap everything up, like this is your senior year. This is about to be your senior year.
Yeah.
So like, what do you have planned after when you graduate? If you
Yeah.
see it that far.
Well, I want to play professionally. Wherever that might be, whether it be NBA, G League, overseas, wherever it might be.
So you want to go further? You want to take it to the next step?
Yeah, like I want to play this basketball for as long as I can. Especially if I have an opportunity to make money doing something that I love. And I don't know, beyond that, we'll figure it out. Like I would have, a college degree, debt free. There's a lot of blessings. So
God bless you, bro.
we'll go from there. and we'll figure it out. You know, everybody's got to figure it out at one point. You know, hey, that ball stops bouncing for everybody at one point. So we'll figure it out.
Well, I appreciate you coming out, man. You know what I'm saying? We definitely enjoyed, like, you know, we're all athletes here, but we've never been to that, you know what I'm saying, that different, that next stage. So just to relive those moments with you, again, you know what I'm saying, keep working hard and keep, like you said, you keep working, you get what you want.
Yeah.
So keep pursuing what you want to do. You see, on the court, you the energy guy, so I know whatever you're gonna go after in life, I guarantee you're gonna get it, bro.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and thank you guys for having me on the show.
When it made it to the league, just, you know, come back for a part 2.
We're gonna do some camps. You can come shoot with my kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll hire you too, bro. Don't worry about it. We talk the money. But yeah, on that note, we out there.
All right.
Peace.